Should we put these on?
I like them on. Welcome to the show, everyone. As you all know, I love to talk about everybody else but me on this show, and we do it right through the radio here. I just love what I do. And I also love the show because of all the information that is people get when they're listening. We're live on Facebook to help. Oh, we're not going to do Facebook today. I forgot about that. We're not. So we're just going to be in here today. But we're going to have the most incredible conversation right now because it's so important. Listen up. I have with me Nicole Corning, and she's a managing partner and advisor of Pathlight Advisors. Welcome to the show. You were here before, and we did a little quickie. This one's going to be a little bit longer. So first of all, we're going to be talking today about the top 3 mistakes that women make in their finances. Please tell everybody a little bit about yourself first and what you do, and then what those are. Let's go.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I had a blast the last time, so had to come back. And I love your energy. It's such a great way to kick off the show.
Thank you.
So I am, like you'd mentioned, managing partner of Pathlight Advisors. So we are a financial advising firm. We're a boutique shop. There are about 19 of us all together. And we're located in Scottsdale, Arizona, right near Kierland, one block south of Kierland. I do a lot of work with business owners, but I also, I think by virtue of me being a woman, I have a lot of women that I work with as clients as well.
Well, there's not many women financial advisors.
It's insane. So I do a lot of speaking at colleges and universities here, so like ASU, Grand Canyon University, on behalf of different organizations that I belong to try to recruit more women into financial advising. And the interesting thing is when I go into these clubs, and they'll be like just general financial advising clubs or finance clubs or econ clubs. And when I mention that only 20% of advisors are women, you should, these women are ready to fight. They are like, what? How can that be?
I think, well, we're going to talk a little bit about certain things. We live in a different world today where more women, I think, especially the younger generation, are exactly like that. No way, man. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. I see that all the time. I would say on the flip side, though, I still see a lot of kind of the leftovers of, we can't help but encompass some of the things that we are like of the environment we're brought up in, right? So if we see our parents and our grandparents and our aunts and uncles and our cousins kind of being brought up a certain way and having certain ideals and socialized a certain way, it's hard to just leave those all behind. So I definitely, with women specifically around financial advising, I feel like it is still not a place that feels comfortable. And I'll give you an example. So have you been to a spa in the last, let's call it 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk into a spa and right away, like, it kind of feels, what does it feel like?
Womanish?
It's
very
feminine. Very feminine, right? Like, you're like, I belong here. This is where I'm supposed to be, right? Like, no one has to tell you that. You just feel that way, right? And I remember I used to give a talk about women and investing, and I started out by showing pictures of my former office. So when I used to work for a larger company, it was, big brass handles on the door, big dark oak, credenza right when you walk in. It was black leather furniture, it was abstract art, it was flat screen TVs. There were no, it was, tile, no carpets. It just, if you were going to, and I would ask the audience, if you were going to furnish a room in your house with this vibe, where would it be? And they all said it would be the man cave.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're pushing women out. It's just that we haven't quite evolved to making it comfortable for women.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the people that listen to this station and this show especially are those people that you're talking about, because they are
my people.
They're your people. I mean, we're talking a little bit older,
Mhm.
right? A little seniors,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And there are a lot of women out there that, especially, let's say, the baby boomers that are
Yes.
listening. We have a lot of them, and we want to talk about some of the myths because we want to get you to understand, kind of perk you up a little bit, get your ears listening, because there's some things that you need to understand and know about.
And especially for older women, I think it is very difficult because, to your point, the younger generation has a sense of empowerment and belonging, and there might be some other forces at work against that, but in general, they're like, I'm not afraid of that, I'm gonna walk into that space. Whereas I feel like a lot of, let's face it, we just talked about it, I'm over the age of 50. Over the age of 50, it's very hard to change the way that you have been living your life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women, what that meant for women 50 and above is you got married and maybe you ran the bills in the house. A lot of women run pay the bills. Right.
Pay the bills.
But they don't know where the investments are. They don't understand where the life insurance is. They don't understand where the annuity lives. And so, especially old women who I rebranded as big age, right? Because no one wants to be older, but everyone wants to be bigger. So
Okay.
women with big ages, right? They've lived their whole lives and they're and depended in some way a lot of times on their husbands, on their partner, and then that person, a lot of men out or women outlive men, and a lot of times it's not actually the biggest demographic of people getting divorced right now, or growth of demographic of people getting divorced, are people above the age of 50, and so death, divorce, all of a sudden, or disability, you find yourself in charge of your own finances. And I've had women literally come into my office with a banker's box in tears, and they're like, so-and-so's a client of yours, and she said, I needed to come see you. My husband dropped dead last week, have a heart attack, and I don't know what to do. I don't know where anything is. I just brought you everything. And it terrifies me because I'm like, I know I'm a good person, but what if they walked into some bad actor's office, right? What if they saw something and they were like, oh, this person looks like they're trustworthy, but they're not good people.
Googled
They
somebody.
Googled somebody, yeah. So
You've been doing what you do for how long?
I've been working in banking and financing since 2000, but I've been specifically financial advising since 2009.
That's a long time. And you, obviously you work with anybody, but you tend to gravitate towards women because you are a woman, and you know how many women have gotten themselves into a little bit of trouble because they have no idea really where the important parts of the puzzle are.
Well, and I work with them because of that, but I have one client that my partner and I, it's a husband and wife, we've worked with them for over a decade, and I think when we hit our 10-year mark, she said, do you know why I hired you? And we said, no, I never asked. Never asked. And she said, because I interviewed a lot of advisors, and when I asked them a question, she had the MBA, she was the one managing everything. She knew where all the money went. Her husband was an engineer, did not know where everything was.
That's definitely does happen.
Right, it definitely happened. But she said when she was interviewing advisors, she would walk in, ask a question, and then they would turn to her husband and answer her husband. And I was mortified that people, and I don't think people do it out of being mean, or look, not everyone's a great person, but I don't believe that people do most of this out of just being mean. I think there are blind spots, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Well, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk further about this. Their phone number is 480-591-1999. And we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back, and we are going to talk further. So that was your first half of the show.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that I'm right here, that your website is prepare2retire.net.
.net.
.net. Okay,
Mhm.
good. .net. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Or if they
I
Google,
didn't
it's
see.
funny, Nicole Corning sounds like the most basic white girl name ever, and you think like you're gonna Google that and you're gonna get 1,000 of me. If you just Google Nicole Corning, like I come up.
Okay.
I come up. So if they can't remember the website and they remember Nicole Corning, they can find me.
I'm gonna say that. If you're gonna Google this.
I come up.
That's good. So I'm gonna get to the questions,
Okay.
all right? Because you wanted to talk a little bit about how they don't talk about it at all, which I'm not sure if you actually said that with that, but we'll go down the line here,
Mhm.
okay? It's crazy in here today.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, my doggy.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, that dog looks human.
He's adorable.
He's got his human eyes.
He is. It's almost like a person. It's interesting.
Some dogs are like just dogs, and that's awesome. I love dogs, but some of them they just look like people.
Yeah. Well, they take on their
Owner.
owner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad because he's a bigger dog than I normally would have ever had. He's about 47 pounds.
Oh, okay.
And my last dog was 25, which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
But I went to one of my daughter's friend. They had these puppies, 9 of those things. I mean, and when you go in there, and
no, you
it's
can't.
very difficult.
Don't go to an animal shelter. Don't go to
Yeah.
looking like a pup.
Yeah.
Don't look at
Yeah.
puppies. You're coming home with one.
Yeah,
You're coming
yeah.
home with one.
It was just like that.
Aw.
So, and I've never had a puppy. I had rescued my last dog, and this one was, a baby.
It's a different.
They're very hard, but we got through it.
It's a lot of
It
work.
did. It was.
They make them that cute so you don't kill them.
Oh gosh. And I'm 68, so that's like, okay, now you're trying to do that when you're older. And my girlfriend just got a cat. We found a cat, and so I had her. She took the cat, and that's a lot of work.
Cats
Take-
are.
Oh my God. Okay. So welcome back, everyone. We've been talking a little bit about women, but obviously there's men out there that they have no clue either.
Yeah, absolutely. Finance is not taught in schools.
No.
And which, if I ever run for office, that's why I'm running for office, because it should be you have to take that course every single year,
Absolutely.
right? It's not a throwaway course. Now here in Arizona, I think they're starting to do that, but I'm not knocking math because, I do work in finance, but, there's a lot of algebra I don't use today, but I sure would have liked to have known what a credit score was when I was 23.
Sure, and not just how to write a check.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're not doing that
No one writes a
anymore.
check anymore.
Right. Now I want you to say, we were talking about Googling. If you're gonna Google, the Google thing that you need to do is to Google Nicole Corning. And when you do that, you think that you're gonna get all of these. No, she said no, she comes right up.
It's so funny. You
it's
think
great.
there would be thousands of us out there,
Yeah.
right?
So
Boring
Nicole
name.
Corning, check it out. Also, you can go to Pathlight Advisors, their website, which is prepare2retire.net. And you can check that out. So, yeah, now we're talking about women here, and one of the things that you said is they really don't talk about. No, what do they talk about? Everything else but.
So I love, yes, that is, so there are a lot of mistakes that we all make when it comes to financial advice, like in finances. But I think that the top one for women is that we stop doing what we naturally do. And that is talking about it. I mean, think of, if you get good news or bad news, real good news or bad news, who's the first person you call, or one of the first people you call?
My best friend.
You do. You pick up the phone, you're like, help me figure this out, help
Yeah.
me navigate it, let me vent, let me talk about my fears. I mean, think about all the things that you know about your best friend.
Mhm.
You probably know, bad dating stories or bad divorce stories.
I won't say anything, so don't worry.
Pinky promise.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep all the secrets today. But we know everything about our friends. We don't know how much they have saved for retirement. We don't know if they're saving for retirement. We don't know if they feel financially secure. We don't have those conversations. And I think that is the biggest mistake that women make, because that is how we typically navigate the world. We navigate the world by building communities, by building our tribes of girlfriends, by having our venting sessions and our exploration discussions, and are you doing this, and how about this, or my kid's driving me crazy, or I'm thinking about moving, should I buy a new house? We will talk about everything. We will not talk about our finances. And I think it's because there's a lot of fear and shame.
I was just gonna say, I bet it's embarrassment.
I think that's the number one issue, but I also think that women are we're taught not to talk about finances, right? Like, don't talk about money, it's rude. Don't talk about money, it's rude. When you think about it, that underpins so much of our lives, right? And we just are not encouraged to talk about it. And we do have fear and shame because we have no way of benchmarking. Are we on track? Are we off track? Are we doing the right things? Because we've pulled away the very thing that we use to benchmark and navigate every other aspect of our life, which is our friends and our friend group. So the number one mistake we make is abandoning that piece of ourselves when it comes to finances. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, I have a friend of mine, younger woman, and she invited me over to her house, and she was like, I just wanted to cook you dinner and get caught up. And then she said, actually, I really want to talk to you about finances because I'm trying to get a better handle on my finances. And I've been talking with my girlfriends, and no one even knows what they're contributing to their company retirement plans. No one knows how much they have in their safety net account. No one is having these discussions, and so I feel lost. And of course you would, because as a woman, that's how you're getting yourself out of being lost in every other situation, is that you are having those discussions. But we as women just aren't doing that. So
one of the things that I think would be the first thing to think about is to talk about them and not feel ashamed, and just knowing that because one thing about talking with another person too, your best friend or what have you, they may say something to you that wow, that's a really good idea. When people sit down and talk, and women, I'm going to say most women that talk with you, one of the things that's coming to my mind, does it matter how much money? Because a lot of people think, if I'm going to get a financial advisor, I got to have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. So the great thing about working with a company that has bench depth is that if you're not the right fit for me, I have so many advisors on my team who are capable of helping out if there are smaller balances. But I'll give you a good example. I talked to a young woman last week, and I had talked to her a year ago. She'd been referred by a mutual friend, and she doesn't need me to manage her money. She just needs some guidance every once in a while. So last year we had a little half-hour phone call, and then this year we had another half-hour Zoom meeting, just to make sure she's doing the right things. And I think
that's cool.
I think that you'll find that. I think that you'll find with, especially with women who are advisors, they're open to just having a little check-in. And for us, you're not going to get a bill for it. We're here to help. And I always think you do the right thing and the money comes, right?
Absolutely. Here, this number 2 is that you women tend to put ourselves, that we're not the priority, right?
We are not. So I always ask, for most women, what was the first toy you got? Or what's the first toy you remember getting? And
what did you say earlier? A baby doll.
A lot of times it's here's the baby, take care of the baby. And I had a beautiful doll collection, so I am not disparaging having a doll collection. I loved mine, but we are trained very early to be the caretakers. Now there is some biology around that, right? Like science has shown that when you are a caretaker as a woman, there's some oxytocin that gets released in your brain, and it's kind of this.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Where else but on Networking Arizona we get figure these things out.
Interestingly enough, all the way up until it starts going away in perimenopause, and in menopause it is gone. And so there's a really great book called The Female Brain. It's written by a female neuroscientist, and she talks about the chemistry of the brain all the way from in utero to post menopause. And I always remember this section, like I was nowhere near menopause, and now I'm like solidly in it. But I remember this passage where she said a lot of times when women are in go through menopause, people are like, she's going crazy. She's not going crazy. She's just not jumping in to take care of all the things that she used to take care of. Now she's like, oh, I remember when I was in high school, like I really liked painting, or I really liked travel, or I wanted to learn the cello. Well, all of a sudden, you're re-engaging in those things post-menopause. So I think that's something to look forward to as well as women. But during those childbearing years, like literally the chemistry in our brain is designed to give us little quick hits, like we would with like if you're playing Candy Crush, or you're, it's that little hit of good feeling when you are nurturing and helping, especially like your own child. So
Well, we know that for a fact that women are nurturers, but you need to step up to the plate.
Because there's a balance, just like everything else in life. So so number 2 is make sure you are putting yourself on your list, right? For a lot of women, it might be a bridge too far to put yourself first on the list right now, but you need to put yourself on the top of the list. So Susie Orman has, I interviewed Susie Orman a couple of years ago. Yes, and she actually had come up with the analogy of putting the mask on yourself first when you're on a plane, right? If you've ever flown on a plane, they give you the safety instructions and they say you've got to put the mask on yourself first. And that's what she had recommended that women do, put the mask on themselves first, because you're not good to anyone else if you can't function.
So real quickly, the last one here is you don't have a plan.
You don't have a plan. And again, it doesn't need to be there's all kinds of ways to get to a plan, right? ChatGPT, ask a friend for a referral. If you work, if you work and you have a workplace retirement plan, a lot of those retirement plans have advisors just like me who are resources for the employees in that plan and can help them with some kind of financial plan. Or even the websites. So the websites of these 401ks or 403bs have they have are you on track or off track, and ways to plug your information in and to get a report of are you actually able to retire on time in the way that you want to.
Well, I'd want to know that.
Yes,
okay.
That's the number one fear of people in retirement. Am I going to run out of money?
Right.
And there are all kinds of ways to find out and make sure that you are not going to run out of money.
So here's the thing. I'm going to tell every woman right now that's out there right now is to start making a plan. And the first plan would be maybe to give her a call. That phone number to call is 480-591-1999. The website is preparetoretire.net, or just go ahead and Google Nicole Corning.
Well, I appreciate you having me on,
Thank you.
Thank you for shining a light.